Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us today. So, what's up?
So where did this idea come from?
The idea actually originated, I wrote it initially like 5 or 6 years ago, and it actually came from my experience on a show I did called Farscape. And Farscape was kind of right at the earliest days of kind of fan, connection with the show. And the Farscape experience was just fabulous, and the fans were just continue to be like this kind of incredibly warm family. But then typically, as my head tends to go, it's like, okay, Farscape is very sci-fi adventure, very very emotional. What if the show the fans were rallying around wasn't something as benign as Farscape? It was something a little bit darker, a little bit more edgy. And what kind of fans might that target? That's kind of the origins of the idea. Kind of came from that experience. And even though the idea originated 5 years ago, to be honest, it couldn't be airing at a better time because that whole social media interaction among fans has just exploded, and it's even more kind of current than it was even back when I first conceived it.
This kind of show feels like perfect for a Comic-Con debut. So what are you most looking forward to the fans actually seeing?
I'm just excited for them to see it. And it really, it's so. I'm a fan myself, so it's the sort of show that I would love to see. It's a show that I think is very right for a very aware Comic-Con audience, because you don't watch cult the way you watch other shows. It's not hard to follow by any stretch, but it is a different experience. And as I tend to like to say, you don't watch cult exactly the same way. You watch cult in kind of its own unique way, and as part of that, cult's kind of watching you in return, because it's that kind of you don't the blurring of the line about what's television and what's reality.
How difficult is it keeping track of the show within a show and keeping those things parallel with each other?
Not really. I mean, my intent is to really create for the Insight show a show that's compelling on its own right, that you would want to watch as an actual television show. I want the audience that's watching our show to go, yeah, that's actually, I can get why people are fans of that show. I would be compelled to watch that as well. And so it's obviously we're breaking 2 different stories each week for Inside and Outside show, but yeah, I mean that's very much part of the kind of the design and I think a fascinating aspect of it.
So we hear that you actually wanted the 13-episode format. Tell us how you're going to use that to your advantage, or why did you want 13?
13 to me is like the perfect number. It's very much the cable model, and so it allows you to be a little bit more serialized and just make it a more intensive, kind of immersive experience for the audience. It also allows you to, fewer preemptions, that sort of thing. Sort of things that are normally kind of built into a show. When we premiere in January, we'll be able to run, the series will run every week, as opposed to even a break for Christmas or holidays or anything like that. And that to me is basically real kind of destination television and all that sort of things. Most of the television that I like tends to be the short and order things. So, there are full season series I like, but the ones that that tend to really grip me are the ones that are they're much more kind of intense sort of experiences. So
as a writer, what kind of benefits do you feel you get to get this all in the can before it actually airs?
I don't know. Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know if there's a real advantage to it. I mean, there's always an advantage if you're airing and then working on subsequent episodes to kind of get a sense of what audience you're getting is. Again, the nature of this is it's such a kind of distinctive plan that I've got that I'd almost kind of like to have first season out there, my version, and see how it plays. Let's see.
Are you still telling everybody that you created this?
Yeah.
Okay. This is an actor we've hired to play the role of Rockne S. Take them away. Thank you.
Alright, this is the last question that I have to move it.
Oh, that's
Are you good?